back down here at Walk-Ons. It's a bye week for football, but it's not a bye week for the show down here for us.
We still have to work.
JT Crabtree and Pat Greenwood back down here at Walk-Ons. We've got, like we said last week, we have a lot of stuff to get to here this week. We won't be talking in person with head coach Major Applewhite this week with the bye week, so he has the bye week, but the show rolls on. We got some great stuff on tap.
Yeah, and I promise they're not taking a week off too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just messing with them. But yeah, no football guests tonight, but we are going to talk some volleyball. We're also going to talk some men's basketball in person with those two head coaches.
Yeah.
And then of course we'll talk about all the other sports happening in and around Jag Nation. All good stuff, man. We've had some really good stuff happening lately.
Let's start off with hoops, who officially got underway here on Monday. It was the MAC Sunbelt Conference Challenge, for both teams. The women's team was at home taking on Akron. We'll start there. Man, they looked good in their first game.
Unbelievable. You know, this is a team that averaged 20 turnovers per game. Against Akron, they had 9.
Nice.
They had 10 games last year where they did not score 60 points. They scored 29 points in the first quarter and wound up, I don't remember the official final score, but it was by 25 points or so, and we were in the 80s. So
you can't see that. I'm pointing my computer.
Yeah,
you don't have to glasses.
But whatever it was, we controlled from the start. And look, they played extremely hard defensively, turned into a lot of good opportunities offensively. Still didn't play great, and I think that's what is more encouraging to me is – I can see a lot of things in their game that this has got to get better. This has got to get better. So does that, and you still win by 20 plus. So I'm very, very excited about what Yalisha Jackson's put on the court so far. Now, granted, game one, Akron I don't think is the strongest team that we're going to face this year.
Sure.
We've got UAB on the road this weekend, and then a bunch of home games after that. So we'll get tested for sure, but I know that this is an exciting brand of basketball that she's putting on the court, and the players just seem to be thriving in that system.
And we had Cordesia Harris led us with 17 points and 13 boards. Nice job there for her. Well, actually, she'll be joining us on the podcast here coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, and she didn't play the fourth quarter, I know for sure.
Wow.
Went down in the third with, I don't know whether it was a cramp or she got a knee to the knee, but whatever it was, she's fine. But, yeah, she has a double-double and doesn't play at least a quarter of the game.
So the women with a 87-63 victory over Akron. So you're 20-plus.
That was close, yeah.
Yep,
that was
24
close.
points. South Alabama men's basketball was on the road at Toledo on Monday night. Came in with a 2-point victory, 76-74. They led by as many as 19 at 1 point, and that's not disparaging what we did up there. That's just a testament to Toledo getting absolutely nuclear hot from three-point land, which the way we play our zone, we'll give up the threes as long as we don't give up the stuff inside the lane as well. And credit to Toledo, they hit 15 threes in total, 12 in the second half. At one point, they were, I think, 9 for 9 on threes. But that was a nice win for the men on the road at a very good Toledo team.
Well, and, of course, as I was doing the women's game, I had the men's game, the score popping up. So I kept seeing it, and then I kept seeing that gap shrink and shrink and shrink. So I didn't get a chance to see it until the end when I went home and was cutting the highlights and got a chance to look at the replay. But we had a lot of new kids. We're going to have new kids in every sport, it seems like nowadays, on our level. We had a lot of new kids that you don't know yet.
Yep.
And, boy, they showed out.
Yeah, Adam Olson led the way for South Alabama. The Canadian transfer from the University of British Columbia dropped 23 in his Jaguar debut. Peyton Law had 18 points, 6 rebounds. He was 9 of 10 shooting. He was 9 for 9 for a while there.
Should have stopped.
Yes. And, Randy Brady had only 7 points, but he led us with 10 rebounds. He had some tough boards there down the stretch, too.
And that's the thing. There's a lot of guys on this team that I think that will do a lot of things that don't show up in the stat book. And that's just a testament of a good team is that you've got some guys that can do some things away from the ball or getting the big rebounds or pushing it up the court or making that extra pass. Randy Brady's one of those guys.
Yeah,
you're never going to look at his points per game and go, oh, man, that guy's vital.
Yeah.
But you look at the game as a whole and you know in an instant that this guy is big.
Yeah, Richie Riley always talks about he's kind of the middle guy for our offense. He's not the guy who gets the assist. If the assist to the assist was a thing in basketball, he would get that often because he's that middle guy in our offense, and he's the middle guy defensively who doesn't let things go, and so a play often has to flip because of his presence. And so he's not getting a steal, but the lane that he clogs opens up another spot for someone else to get a steal oftentimes defensively.
See, y'all could perfect opportunity. Start calling him Dwight. because he's the assistant to the regional manager. Start calling him Dwight. Make that his new nickname.
All right, we can.
Started right here.
Well, Coach is going to be joining us here in just a little bit, so we can push it with him there too. Chase Harris had 10 and 4. The Cleveland native good to be back in his home state for him. He also had 7 assists for South Alabama. Jaden Cooper had 10 points as well. So an overall nice victory for the men's team on the road. They will be back home tomorrow night to take on Alcorn State, and then back home again on Saturday to take on Spring Hill College. And savor those home games, because after that, the men's team does not have a home game again until December 14th. So be sure to make it out to the Mitchell Center this week.
And then I think they only have one more home game in December, or is it the women? Because I know there's only 3 home games, period, in the month of December. One of them is that December 14th doubleheader.
And it's the
women and then men. So whoever plays on the 29th at home, and I think that's
the men. It is.
Yeah.
They're playing Mobile that night.
Yeah.
So, that's it's not a lot here before New Year's, so come join us out at the Mitchell Center. The women will be back home shortly as well.
Yeah.
They've got a really strong home slate. Memphis, North Florida, who's the day game, the kids game coming up next week. That's always really fun. And it's a scrappy North Florida team coming over from just outside of Jacksonville as well. So they've got a really good home slate over there as well. Soccer, who will be taking part in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament semifinals later tonight. In fact, less than an hour, they'll kick off over from Foley. Boy, did they have a wild one in the quarterfinals on Monday. They went to overtime. It was scoreless. Then they went to double overtime. It was still scoreless. They went to PKs. And we were actually trailing 3-1 in the PKs and had to rally. How Jaden Kinch subbed in to do the PKs and got some stops down the stretch. They're huge.
And what they said is that she's a little more agile in the goal, in those PK situations. But we're down 3-1, and if you're not wholly familiar with it, all that means is Louisiana's going to get 2 more chances. Put 1 in the net, we're done.
Yep.
And we have to make all of our PKs following that. And we did. And then we go to the 6th PK and got the stop. We got the goal there, won at 4-3 in PK. So now we're in the semifinals for the conference tournament against Texas State, again scheduled at 7 o'clock. We'll see if the first game goes long.
Right.
But win tonight, we get to the Sun Belt Conference Finals. So big night for the soccer team.
Yeah, big night for them. Best of luck. They're taking on Texas State, who we tied with in the regular season. That was actually the final home game.
Right.
Of the regular season for South Alabama soccer, so best of luck to them. Volleyball is back home here this weekend. We've got Arkansas State coming to town. This is a really strong stretch of the schedule. JMU last week. Arkansas State's very good, coming to Jag Gym this weekend. You got Coastal next week too, so it's a tough stretch here.
Yeah, and it'll be at Coastal, so this is your last chance to go see the volleyball team at home in Jag Gym. Now, of course, we encourage you to go down to Foley for the conference tournament in a couple of weeks, but they lost 2 to James Madison. Again, Sarah Gooch, we've talked a lot about her and how good she is. She had an injury against Louisiana the week before, so she's out for the year, and that really changes the makeup of the team. But we'll talk to Jessie Ortiz actually in a little while about some of the young ladies that have stepped up in her absence, because I'll tell you, James Madison has one of the best players in the country on that team. We took him to 4 on Thursday night, took him to 5 on Friday night. And I was encouraged with who we have behind her, and of course, you never want to see the losses by any stretch.
Sure.
But it's a good time to go out to Jag Gym this Friday at 6, Saturday at 1. We encourage you to go out there and watch these ladies play. And Arkansas State's number 2 in the West, if I'm not mistaken. They're very good. I know that. So we're going to have our hands full again.
And we've talked about it a lot. 1, admission free, Jag Gym. Get out there. No reason not to. But the atmosphere is awesome. It's so great over there in Jag Gym. You get a crowd in there, that low ceiling. Our team knows how to play it.
Right.
There were a couple of times against JMU we used it to our advantage to get some quick points in there. So great opportunity to check out the volleyball team one more time in the friendly confines of Jag Gym coming up here this weekend. Let's talk some more volleyball here. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we come back, head coach Jessie Ortiz will join us here from Walk-Ons. It's Jags Live, presented by Eco South Services. We're coming right back. Welcome back. It's Jags Live, presented by Eco South Services. JT Crabtree and Pat Greenwood talking all things South Alabama athletics here from Walk-Ons. We've got getting ready to continue our volleyball talk here from the restaurant. Head coach Jessie Ortiz is joining us. He's got a little one with him here.
Yeah, Charlotte. Charlotte's making an appearance. Charlotte's the boss here, so maybe we need to interview Charlotte at some point. She's very shy. She's getting candy.
She's talking with everybody.
Taking candy from straight? No, not straights. But no, it's
it's okay. You can have that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead. She actually asked. I love that. Oh, That's on Daddy.
Little spill.
There
It's
you go.
okay.
Well, Coach, I've got a 6-month-old, so this is just staring at my future right now.
It's great. I mean, it's an absolute blessing.
How old is she now?
She's just 4 and 4 months.
Okay.
Okay.
So she does really good.
That's awesome. I know she's been, we got the courtside seats at Jag Gym, and one of her jobs every match is to go make sure and touch all the seats and make sure they're all ready to go. That's a very important job.
She does. She puts on performances. She's a little dancer and singer. So
That's good.
No, it's great. It's absolutely great.
Well, Pat mentioned it there, Coach. We'll, of course, talk about your team and the matches we got coming up here this weekend, but he mentioned those courtside seats, and that's something we've added here in the last couple of years at Jag Gym. Adds to the atmosphere, a different experience, and that was something that kind of you helped to spearhead over there. Just what has that been like for fans who never had an opportunity at Jag Gym before to sit courtside and be that close to the action?
And we put them close.
Yes.
So sometimes the players get up to you and they'll be running at you, but no, I just think it adds to the experience. And we didn't necessarily need those seats in Jag Gym, but just a little extra flair, and the fans were just really into it. And those things sold out within, I think, 4 days. And
nice.
They've been absolutely great. So you've seen Jag Gym. It's a raucous place.
Yeah.
Our fans come out strong. So no, it's just another augmentation of the building. But love our fans, love them being so close, and just love their support.
And it's not going to mean much to most people, but there's now a table up at our perch
Right.
at Jag Gym. We've usually had to bring in this folding table and wedge it in between the bleachers. We got a table now with a banner that says ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Official.
We're in the money up there.
Absolutely,
Man. That's nice.
absolutely, big time. No, it's just one of the things we want to do. It's right. We saw you lugging that thing up there, and so you know what, we can get something a little more substantial there. So.
It's awesome. Hey, we got to try that out last week against James Madison. It was great.
Well, let's talk about your squad here, Coach. Just you're getting down to the stretch of it here in terms of the regular season. Just overall, what can you tell us about your squad?
They're a very competitive group. They work extremely hard. You can see that in all the matches that they play. A lot of pride in Jag Gym. I have a lot of great leadership. I mean, I have some great seniors and good youngsters, and so I just love the fact that the older ones are teaching the younger ones the way we do things, and it's just part of our culture. So it's just I can't talk enough about how proud I am of this group. I think it's one of the best groups I know I've ever had, and I think it's one of the best groups that our school's ever had.
And I don't know who made the schedule. I know that's probably up to the Sun Belt, but you're in the season with James Madison, Arkansas State, Coastal Carolina. They didn't do you any favors, did they?
No, and we love that. It's we're one of the top 4 teams every year in the Sun Belt. So when you do that, your crossovers are going to be the other top 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good for the RPI. We like the competition. We want to play the absolute best in the conference. So we are absolutely all for that.
That's good.
And that was something that Pat and I had talked about early on in the year was you guys challenge yourself in the regular season and the non-con, and okay, some of the results might not be there of in terms of wins and losses,
Sure.
but from a growth standpoint, you could definitely see it with your team early on this year.
Absolutely, and we took Baylor to 4. It's a top 10 team in the region. Same thing with Auburn. We've had some good matches. We had a couple of those that got away from us. We thought we had a good chance of winning. So I think in terms of just the preparation of what the season's going to be and how formidable the Sun Belt's been, it just gives us a step up in just the competition level. And I think some teams can crack on that. Some teams have a hard time with that. They'll get sunk. But this team had a lot of tenacity. They really took on the challenge every single week. And I just liked how they took it on. I mean, they really came at it. We talk about we're not going to play 30 matches a year. We're going to play one match 30 times. And I think they really embodied that every single time we got on the court.
We dropped a pair to James Madison last weekend, lost in 4, lost in 5. Obviously, extremely competitive matches. What did you take out of that?
I think I wish we would have closed them out in the second set. We were ahead in that one. That's a good team. It's a top, I think they're 37, 36 in the country right now, something like that. And we're walking away from that thinking that they escaped from us in Jag Gym. So I just, I like my group. I like what they're doing. You guys talked about Sarah a little bit and the injury that she had, but we have a lot of depth. We have a lot of great players on our roster, a lot of physicality, and people are stepping up. So it's the next woman up, and they're going to go in there and just try to win themselves some games.
And that's exactly where I wanted to go. I was particularly impressed with Eva Dittmar. Came in and did a fantastic job. And so that's why you practice, right? That's why you practice hard, because you never know when that opportunity's coming.
Yeah, and we try to make sure we're totally prepped in all the things that we do. We really don't like to roll things out for the first time in competition. So, yeah, she's gotten reps at doing that, and we've seen in the gym how much of a force Eva's been.
Right.
She had small roles because we switched to a 5-1 later in the season. That's the type of offense that we run. But when she had her opportunity, she went in there and actually went after it. So I'm so proud of her.
We could see even the red-blue scrimmage at the beginning of the season. You had a lot of new names and some younger names out there, too, that were immediately you would say, okay, she's going to make an impact, especially when we get to the end of October.
Yeah.
They're really going to be rolling. Just how pleased have you been with the progression of your newcomers so far this year?
They've been great, and I think it goes back to what I said earlier. And the older ones teach the younger ones, and we're trying to guide everybody. We don't have any favoritism in terms of grade or experience. It just comes down to whoever the best people are going to be out there. It keeps the gym very competitive. So you're seeing some players out there, Cambria Gayer, who's getting some significant time. She's absolutely tearing up the Sun Belt. She's been great all year. And you have some other ones in Elise. And we got some people that are redshirting and some new youngsters coming in next year. So I love the depth that we have. I love the recruiting that we've done. I think Maris, our recruiting coordinator, has done a tremendous job. And so there's a lot of talent in the gym every single week. You got to keep your head on tight. I'll tell you what, because that ball's flying. And if you're not paying attention, you will get lit up.
Yes.
Well, Coach, from a coaching standpoint, it's got to be the best right now because you've got, like you were saying, your older players are coaching your younger players, and they're taking the load off for you, right? It's nice and easy.
Yeah.
You just roll in the gym. And
Absolutely. I just walk in there and roll the balls out. No. We definitely get after it, and I would say one of the things that the youngsters, we talked about this last week, it's like we're not a point fingers, you didn't get it done, or I didn't do this. People are all of us are trying to win games collectively together. That's the coaching staff and the players. We're one tribe together. So if we lose together. When we win together. And I'm just trying to get them not to hang their heads when one thing goes bad. We have a lot of match left, and we're just going to keep on getting after it until we get the W.
Well, in the Friday, I'm getting my days confused. The Friday match against James Madison, where we lost in 4, it was 25-22. We lost the first, and we lost the third and the fourth, 25-23.
Yeah.
So we're in all of those things. Take them to 5 sets on Friday, and then just kind of, ran out of gas a bit in that 5th set. But what do you get? Arkansas State coming in. How does Arkansas State compare to James Madison? Because those ladies are also at or near the top.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the Sun Belt this year, and it's been progressively getting stronger and stronger every year since I got into the league 5 years ago. So the Sun Belt is arguably between us and the American. We're just kind of back and forth in the mid majors for volleyball. There's the group of 4, then there's the Power 4, and there's the group of 6. So we're one of the top 2 in the group of 6, and it's one of those things that there's a lot of talent in the conference, and there's a lot of quality teams, quality coaches. So Arkansas State's another one of them. They're absolutely talented. They have some great pins. Their rights are really good. They have returning all-conference players in their middle and their outside. But like I said, I like what I got. I feel like more so than our physicality and how lethal some of those attackers are, it's just the nature of our group together. And I think collectively we're on our A game. We're tough to beat.
It's going to be exciting to see just how much, especially in the Sun Belt Conference, that volleyball has grown over the years. I mean, the league, where it is positioned now, is not the case the last 5 years ago. It was definitely not the case. How exciting is that to see it's not just us, and it's not Arkansas State and Coastal and JMU, but it's the whole league is getting better in the sport.
I'll tell you what, it's the Sun Belt, and we're one of the conferences that are shining in the country right now, but it doesn't take much to go to ESPN and see all the volleyball that's going on in all the conferences in the country. Volleyball's picking up, and we've just entered the 3rd generation of club player in our world. So grandmothers who play club had daughters who play club, now have granddaughters who play
That's
club.
cool.
And you're seeing this thing grow, and you're seeing it happen. So it's an exciting time for our sport. You see a lot of kids that are just bigger, stronger, better at a younger age, and it's just one of those things that the quality of the game just keeps on picking up. And I'm excited about it. I think it's a great time for me to be a coach in this time of my life and in this stage of our sport.
When you sell this program to recruits, for Cambria, for example, true freshman from Michigan, you go up to Michigan. What do they know about South Alabama, and how have you seen that grow in the past, say, 4 or 5 years?
There's some spots in the country that we go recruit, and it's amazing how much our logo carries some weight.
That's cool.
And there's spots in Indiana, there's spots in Kentucky, spots in Tennessee, spots in Michigan where there's well known of the Jaguar head. It just travels, and people are into it. So they hear about us, they hear about our program, they see all of the great things that we do. We have a lot of people in the volleyball community who talk well about us, and then there's nothing like getting them on campus, having them see this place, having to see how beautiful this campus is, and how amazing it can be. And you get them in our Jag Gym, you get how beautiful that thing is these days, and it kind of sells itself. So with the culture of our girls and the great leadership that we have, with the exciting games that we have and how hard they work, it doesn't take much for a youngster to come in and see that and say, man, I want to be a part of that.
And you go into Michigan and Indiana and Kentucky and those places and say, with rare exception, we're not dealing with snow down here. There's a beach. There's a nice weather. This is a great place.
I'll tell you what, they learn about the beaches, and their parents are begging these kids to say yes. So it's a great thing. And, this place is beautiful. And I could look back when I was hired here, and I remember Joel taking me out to just in front of the Mitchell where that big Jaguar statue is, and I'm looking at the clock tower and going, man, I want to be here, and I think within a half hour of me visiting this place, I just wanted to be a Jaguar. So it was absolutely awesome. I'm so blessed, and it's an exciting time for our program and exciting time for our players.
Head coach Jesse Ortiz is joining us here from Walk-Ons, Jags Live, presented by Eco South Services. Coach, you are pulling double duty like a champion right now.
Appreciate you. No, appreciate you. You get versed. You get versed.
Yes, I miss this age, man. I'm telling you,
it's so great.
It's awesome.
It is so great. Just watching her go and just the brain, the wheels turning, and watching her learn and just watching her progress and all the life lessons that she's learning right now. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Well, Coach, we'll give you one assignment off now. How about that? You can stay on dad duty.
I appreciate you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, that's head coach Jesse Ortiz. Join us down here from Walk-Ons. Take a quick time out here. The show rolls on here when we come back. Appreciate head coach Jesse Ortiz. Join us down here from Walk-Ons, Jags Live, presented by Eco South Services. Looking forward to seeing them again here in Jag Gym coming up on Friday and Saturday. Arkansas State. Those are big matches. Big matches coming up in Jag Gym, so should be a fun one.
And it makes me feel with the scheduling, because it is true. Arkansas State, Coastal Carolina, James Madison, South Alabama. I assume that was done on purpose to put them all at the end of the season. And that's smart, if that's the case. Yep. I like that idea. But, no, it's a great time. 6 o'clock on Friday, 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Again, no admission charge out there. And it's a good volleyball team, man. It's a great sport. Love calling those games. Yeah. And I will be on the call for most of Saturday. I'm going to have to leave at some point to go start the men's basketball game at 3 o'clock.
Yep.
But no, we'll have it all on ESPN+.
Yep. So we've also, of course, got no football this week. Right. We're on bye week this week. We'll be on the road next week taking on ULM. If you missed the announcement earlier this week on Monday, we had 2:30 kickoff over from Monroe, Louisiana. The game will be televised on ESPN+. And because it's a road game, you're back on the sidelines over with us on the Jags Radio Network from Malone Stadium. So
beautiful Malone Stadium.
Yes, scenic.
Monroe, Louisiana.
I'll pack a couple of cans of Raid for the booth upstairs. But obviously not a result we wanted last time out against Louisiana. Had a lot of ground to make up early on the game. Weren't able to do it, so a nice time to kind of regroup now with the bye week and get after next week.
Yeah, and it was a frustrating first half because I don't know if sleepwalk is the correct term, but it was just we didn't seem to be awake at that particular point. It really throughout the entire first half. Excuse me. And then they score on their first 5 possessions, 4 touchdowns and a field goal. Put ourselves in a 31-7 hole. But then next thing you know, it's 31-22, and we've got the ball inside the 1. And we still would have needed an onside kick by the way the timeouts and everything rolled down. We would have needed an onside kick and a field goal to get there. So especially disappointing that we couldn't punch it in twice from the 1-yard line. But kudos to Louisiana. That's much more like the team we thought Louisiana would be to begin the year. It was certainly disappointing. But look, we're not going anywhere. I know those guys aren't. Yep. The fight's not going anywhere. The coaches, they're going to still continue to play and coach extremely hard. Louisiana Monroe, there's a lot to play for there. Braylon McReynolds, we love Bam.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I root for Bam every week except next Saturday because he's the running back, obviously at Louisiana Monroe. You've got Ernest Hill, who used to be on our staff. He's the defensive coordinator for ULM. Bryant Vincent used to be on our staff. He's the head coach at ULM.
Cam Blankenship's the O-line coach.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of ties there, and there will be certainly motivation to play. And then beyond that, you've got Southern Miss at home. We've got one more home game, and that's Southern Miss. Man, that's going to be a big game because, yes, our goals aren't going to be realized in terms of postseason. but boy, we could put a dent in
Yeah, we
theirs,
could.
right?
Yeah, we
I
could.
mean, they're going to go to a bowl game. They're undefeated right now in the conference. They play at Arkansas State this week, but gosh, that would be great.
That would be a lot of
to
fun.
continue that role against Southern Miss. So, and then we'll finish the season at Texas State. So, again, not where we want to be, but look, we got 3 football games to play, and let's play them as hard as we can, and support these guys as hard as we can.
That's right. So that's what's coming up next week for football. Take a quick timeout. We'll switch back to basketball. And Coach Richie Riley's down here. He'll join us here from Walk-Ons on Jags Live, presented by EcoSouth Services, when we come back. Jags men's basketball opened the year with a 76-74 road victory at a really tough Toledo team up in Ohio back on Monday. Talk more about that and what's coming up the rest of the week. Head coach Richie Riley. Coach, good to see you again.
Hey, good to see you guys. Good to be out here tonight.
So let's talk about that win. We talked, of course, after the game on Monday about how that went down, but just overall, you've got a couple hours to kind of digest a little bit more of it. What do you mainly take away from that win on the road at Toledo?
Yeah, it was a heck of a win. We didn't play perfect, but for moments of the game, we played at a really high level. That first half, the way we closed the first half, and the way we started the second half, in the NBA they call it that middle 8, and it's we kind of controlled that and built a lead, but it's just like good teams do, and they're a really good team. I mean, that's a 20-plus win team that's going to compete for another MAC championship. I mean, they got 3 of them in the last 4 years. And they fought back. They made some big-time shots, too. That's the thing I took from watching the film is in the game it didn't feel like the degree of difficulty on some of those threes were quite what I thought. But we contested some of them. And, everybody knows how we play. We're unique to any other team in the country defensively is what we do. And they made some. They made some tough ones and battled back. But I was proud of our guys' resiliency to finish because it's not easy. They haven't lost a home opener up there in 15 years. And Todd's a heck of a ball coach. And they got talent back, and they added talent. The freshman guard they got's really good. Yeah. I mean, he's really, really good. In this climate, I don't know how long he's going to be there. He's really good. But I was just proud of us. Our first road test, a lot of guys' first Division I game for us. And the way that we performed, we were able to go in there and find a way to win.
In this day and age, with all of the things that surround college athletics, building a team is not easy. It's never easy to begin with, but it's gotten harder and harder, at least from the outside looking in. How have you built this team?
It's hard. I agree with you 100%. I live it every spring. It's it's hard. And I joke, but I'm serious in a lot of ways. We have a money ball approach. It's like, the old Billy Bean and the A's, the way that they did it. They played a unique style. They did more with less when it comes to in terms of payrolls in our league, and I can say that because it's legal. Payrolls in our league, we're at the bottom, and we found a way to dig deep and really evaluate and find guys that still feel like a relationship's important. They want to play for the name on the front of their jersey. They have a chip on their shoulder because nobody would give them a Division I chance. They came from the NAIA level, Canadian College League, Division II, junior college, whatever it is. And we found a niche, and I'm really proud of my staff, how much time they put in. We all are in there together doing it, watching film, and still working that old school recruiting angle that most places don't have to do now. There's a bottom dollar a lot of places, and you pay it, and you get the kid, and that's not what we're able to do here. And to be honest, too, it's rejuvenated me as a coach. It really has. This NIL kind of hit everybody in the face, especially when you didn't have the resources to do that. And we found a way to go out and get guys that want to play for South Alabama and care about our place like I care about it. And that's been fun for me. And this group is definitely that. Jay, you've been around them quite a bit.
Yeah.
And they're definitely those type of dudes.
Well, and I completely agree with the process that you guys do it, because you can go take a bunch of guys from the Power 4 schools and bring them down. There's nothing wrong with that. But you choose to find the kids maybe in the lower ranks that are used to winning, that are used to being the top of their game, that, as you said, have a chip on their shoulder. Why is it important for you to go that way instead of bringing the big kids down here?
You're exactly right. That's our approach. We want guys that have experienced winning. And when guys have experienced as much winning as our guys have that we recruited, it means something to them. They care. And the other part is they had a lot to do with that winning. I think you can go find some guys at a higher level that may have not had a role or played on teams that didn't win. All of it matters. In 2025, that's a big thing in college athletics, period, is you can win a lot of ball games if your guys just care and they're selfless and they're about the right things. And that's what we've tried to do. We rarely, if ever, we don't recruit guys that come from a losing record, and that's nothing against the kid. There's a lot of great kids that play places that just don't have a great team, and that's not a character flaw of anybody or makes you a bad player. It's just what we've done. That's the model. And you look at the roster we brought in, our roster has won more ball games, our recruiting class won more ball games than any recruiting class in America. Now, it's not Division I games, but you got Peyton Law and J.J. Wheat's back. They won a national championship in that. Chase Harris won 28 games last year and went to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, whatever it was. Peyton Law won 31 games. Adam Olson won 33 games in the Canadian Basketball League. Hondo won 29 games at Lenoir-Rhyne. So you got all these guys, they've won, and they were the reason for winning. They were part of those key moments. It was who they were going to down the stretch to try to win the games. They weren't sitting on the bench watching, trying to, just figure things out. They were the reason. And we mix that in with what type of people they are. I've said this since I've been here. My kids are around the pro. They were with our guys when I left. We ate dinner together tonight after we watched film, and they were out there hanging out with their guys right now. They're with them all the time. I want quality young men around my kids, and we have that. So it all works in conjunction with us. And, the last piece to that is I coach our dudes really hard. If you don't want to be coached, you can't come here. It's not going to be fun for me. It's not going to be fun for them. So we've got a whole roster full of guys that crave to be coached. They embrace being coached. They want that because they want to be really good players and they want to win.
We talked before the game the other day about, some of these guys might have some nerves when they go out there because it's their first Division I game, and, it's that opportunity they've been wanting for so long and whatnot. But just kind of on the same line of talking there, Coach, it's good that they've got those nerves because they care and they want to take advantage of this opportunity they've got that maybe someone else wasn't willing to give them.
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story. After we had our first closed door, Stephen Williams, who's a sophomore for us, going to be a really good player, young kid. He's only 18 years old. He's a young sophomore. He been practicing really well, and he keeps getting better. He played much better than the Toledo game, but he didn't play anything like himself. And I was talking to the whole team. I always address the whole team together. There are no secrets on our team. Like when I coach guys hard and I tell them, so everybody knows we're in this thing together. And I told him, I said, "You were a little nervous, what?" He said, No. You could tell. You could tell, though. I said, "It's all right, dude. I still get nervous too. I'm 42. I've done this a long time. That was your first dance out here. Now it's all right." Then he shook his head and said, "Yeah, I was a little nervous." And it's just human nature. If you care about something, and it means something to you, then you're gonna have some butterflies and nerves. But it gets better the more you do it, and it's getting better for him. It's getting better for all our guys. And that's the goal. You want to prepare so hard and practice so hard that you're ready for that moment.
Well, Coach, we'll take a quick time out here, but if you got some time, stick around for one more segment here.
Sounds good. As long as you guys will have me, I'll be here.
You bet. We'll do that. We'll take a quick time out. We'll continue talking with head coach Richie Riley here when we come back. One more segment with head coach Richie Riley down here at Walk-Ons. Jags Live presented by Eco South Services. Coach, we got 2 home games coming up here this week, and then not another home game till until mid-December. So
2029.
We got to get ready for the road again next week.
Yeah, we're going to be on the road for a while, so we got to relish these home games. Tomorrow night we're going to hang a banner, which is a special night.
Yeah.
And I encourage everybody to be out there. Those things are hard to get. They're hard to hadn't happened in a long time, and we're going to try to keep hanging them. We're going to try to keep doing that, but I really want to celebrate our guys tomorrow, and I had to talk to our team about playing Alcorn, and we went through this game plan and personnel and all the things, and I just told them, like, tomorrow night, man, there's 5 guys in here that poured everything they had into this thing to be able to get to hang that banner. So we need to perform like that with how we play and make it a special night. And, and all the guys that are gone now, I just, it was a special year. It was fun, man. And you never want to end, you want to keep playing, but it was a special year, especially that Friday night. And then we have Spring Hill on Saturday, and that's, we want to play those guys every year, Mobile, Spring Hill. Both those universities, schools are important to us. They're part of our city, and so we play them every year. But we got a home stand here. Come out and see us because you don't get to see us at home for a while.
So 7 o'clock tomorrow night. The banner hanging ceremony, though, is going to happen just before tip, right? So about, 6:55, isn't that how it's going to work?
As far as I know, Jay probably knows better than me.
Yep.
Yeah,
right before.
I just want to make sure people don't, it's going to happen at the end. No, make sure you get there early so you can see this thing. It's going to be cool.
Usually where we do about starting lineups.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think so. Augie and Riley Conroy are in charge of all logistics and about everything else. They do about everything. So they'll tell me where to be and what I need to do.
Hey, we got to give your guy Augie a shout out because his first road trip here this past week. It's a long trip up there from Mobile, Atlanta, Detroit, then drive down. Thought the whole trip went pretty darn smooth.
He did an elite job, really good, and he's been a really great hire for our program in a lot of different ways. He's great at that part, but he's also an assistant coach, and he's great on the court too. I'm blessed with an incredible staff. I mean, these guys that I have here, I'm thankful every day that I get to work with them. And how they pick me up, man. It's every single day. And I've had some longevity, too, with some of these guys. They've been with me for a while, and I'm thankful for that. I think that's a key in being successful is being able to retain great people. And we've been able to do that. Thankfully, they want to be around.
Does it feel like it's year 8 here at South Alabama? I was looking at that the other day. I was like, my gosh, it is year 8.
Time flies when you're having fun. I've had a blast. I'm thankful every single year that I get to coach here. I love it here. I love Mobile. I love the University of South Alabama. I love the people I get to work with in our administration. I love the kids that I get to coach. This is home for my kids. I think in our profession it's hard, and we've grinded too. We've grinded to be able to be here this long, and we get to hang a banner and try to hang some more this year and take another step. But it doesn't. It's flown by, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I'm thankful to be the coach here, and I'm thankful for what we've been able to do, the stability of our program, the consistency, and we're hungry for more. We want to hang a banner and cut a net down in Pensacola, and we want to take that next step, and we're working hard to do that. But all 8 of these years, man, have been magical for me. It's been a great run.
You got Alcorn tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. I got a chance to watch their game against Florida State last night. The final score, Florida State kind of pulled away toward the end, but this Alcorn team was much better than what I anticipated they would be. That's a pretty strong team tomorrow night.
They're dangerous. They're very dangerous, and they all are, man. It's so hard in this climate of college basketball. Used to back in the day, you could look at a game and know this team doesn't have. Everybody's got a chance now. That's just the way it is. Everybody's got a chance. You saw a bunch of upsets last night. You see them all the time, and they're dangerous. They're not scared. They went to Tallahassee last night and went toe-to-toe with them for a while. It was 58-44 at halftime. They put up 44. They shot over 50% from the field for the game, over 50% from three, and really competed. And Florida State, they got them out, man. Florida State's really big up front, and they got away late. But Alcorn's not scared. Their schedule, too, I don't know if you guys took a peek at their schedule. It is absolutely murderer's row. I don't know. They don't have a home game in the non-con. They don't play a non-1. And they leave our place. They go to Minnesota next. Eventually they go to Baylor, Iowa State, Maryland, Ole Miss. Gosh. I mean, just a gauntlet of a schedule. And Jake Morton, he's going to do a good job there. It's his first year. I've known Jake a long time. He's going to do a good job. But they got a good team. They got some really, really good pieces. They're athletic. They have a good mix of man-to-man and zone. It can kind of keep you off balance. And the biggest thing they're not scared. They're going to compete their tail off. So we're fully engaged in understanding how tough this game's going to be and how we're going to play our best to win the game.
I'm going to steal a phrase from you here, Coach. We can't let it become a friendly hooper game, right?
We cannot let it become. I love that. I'm glad. I'm glad that there's probably phrases you could take or leave that I say. You hear me all the time, but that is one that should stay. We don't ever want a friendly hooper game, and what that means is both teams having a good time, just going up and down. You make a shot, I make a shot. Not caring about getting stops, not the competitive fight, and that's not our program. We don't play like that. My challenge for our guys every game is that there's 40 minutes, maybe more, if it requires that, but there can only be one team having fun, and it needs to be us, and that's our approach every single one.
And nice from a bonding experience to be on the road and get in the hotel and do all that kind of stuff, right? But how excited are you for the new guys to see what it's like to play in the Mitchell Center?
It was funny, the exhibition. You said the exhibition there, guys. I looked at them during start lineups, and they were wide-eyed.
That's cool.
Because they ain't never seen nothing like that. You got the lights off, and you got the whole deal. And, a lot of these guys came from where I came as a coach, NAI level D2. That's where I cut my teeth coaching. And they hadn't experienced that, so you could see the nerves a little bit and all that. But you could also see the appreciation they had and the pride that they had, that they worked and earned this. They earned the opportunity to get their name called out here at the Mitchell Center for the first time. And, I think tomorrow will be cool for our guys to see a banner hunt, even if you weren't part of that team, to see, how much it means to our fans and how much it means to our city. And I'm excited. I'm excited for people to see our team play. And my challenge, again, with our guys today is I told them, I said, listen, man, you get a chance to come out here. There's people come watch you play that might have never came to a South Alabama game. They might come to every South Alabama game, but you want them to leave here and say, man, that's a team that I want to come back and see. I can't wait for them to get back playing home games so I can get out and watch these guys. And then go tell somebody wherever they work, come watch these guys, man, they're fun. And that's the challenge. And the only way to do that is play with unbelievable energy, passion, selflessness, and just that competitive chip on your shoulder, who we are as a program. And last year we did that, and that's why the crowds kept getting better and better. Obviously winning helped that, but people wanted to root for those guys. And this year I'm just telling everybody it's the same deal, man. These guys are the same type, cut from the same cloth. All they care about is winning, and it's going to be an exciting group to watch.
Looking forward to seeing you guys back out there. 7 o'clock tip-off against Alcorn State tomorrow. And Coach Richie Riley joining us down here from Walk-Ons. Coach, as always, great to see you. Appreciate you coming down here.
Enjoyed it, guys. Appreciate you having me.
All right, we'll take one more time out. We'll wrap up the show here from Walk-Ons when we come back. It's great catching up with head coach Richie Riley down here in Walk-Ons. Looking forward to seeing the boys back out there tomorrow. Like Coach was saying, hanging a banner. Folks come out there, come see that. It's a special moment. They're few and far between. Last time we hung a banner in the Mitchell Center for men's basketball was 2008.
Yep.
And so it's gonna be an awesome time out there.
Yeah, they deserve it, and the coaching staff deserves it. The fans deserve it. So go out there, get a little early, a little early because it is going to happen pre-tip-off. So get out there, make sure you see that ceremony, and then let's get behind these guys because Alcorn's got some players.
They can play.
I think we're better, but they can play, and it's going to be a good opportunity to come see these guys in person. We'll play again on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. So looking forward to that. The game will be, if you can't be there, we'll be on ESPN+. Myself and Bart Heisch will have the call. Bart is back this year.
Yes.
Bart won't be with me on Saturday, so it's kind of an interesting day for me on Saturday. I'm going to obviously call the basketball game tomorrow night, the volleyball match on Friday. I'll call volleyball on Saturday from 1 till about 2:15 or so, and then Charlie Harrison will take over the rest of that while I go over to basketball, start the basketball game, and then Charlie will join me once volleyball is over to finish up the basketball game against Spring Hill. So I've got charts and sports and all sorts of stuff all over my desk. You saw my disaster of a desk earlier today.
It's rough, folks.
Anyway, but I could work for a living, so it's not that bad.
That's true. So a 7 o'clock tip-off tomorrow, 3 o'clock coming up on Saturday. You mentioned get out there early for tomorrow's matchup, not only for the banner dropping, but also to get your hands on a replica banner that we're giving away.
That is really neat. I was glad that I saw those in the office today, and I'm like, that's awesome. Yeah. That's a neat keepsake.
Yeah, very cool. It's an exact replica of the championship, the Sun Belt Conference Championship banner that we're going to be unveiling tomorrow. It's the exact same, so you can have one of those for yourself. It's got a little suction cup on there. You can pop it on a window. So very cool little giveaway that we've got coming up tomorrow, Thursday night, 7 o'clock against Alcorn State. Pregame coverage on the Jags Radio Network starting at 6:30. Charlie will be with me for tomorrow.
Right.
Then he'll
and
jump
then I'm
back over
stealing
with
him.
you. Yes.
Well, because, Bart can't be there Saturday, so I asked Brian Gennard, who does the women's games with me. He can't be there Saturday, so I called you and said, hey, can I steal Charlie? Because we've got two things happening at once on Saturday. And Gavin, I believe Gavin Murray will be doing the volleyball behind the scenes.
Okay.
Mandy Davidson will be handling the basketball, and we've got split crews everywhere. But we'll make it happen. We'll put it on ESPN+.
Then you guys are putting me on a camera next week for the women's game. That's the day game when all of your students, which if folks don't know, the ESPN crew is outside of you, Gavin, and you and Gavin, because Mandy's technically a student
Mandy's
as a GA.
Yeah.
Your whole crew's students.
Yes. And so when you play an 11 a.m. game,
Got like school or something?
it kind of hurts the staffing a little bit. We're going to stoop to the bottom of the barrel and get JT Crabtree on camera 5.
Yes.
On
There's 1 through 5, and I am 5.
And then after that, we hit the road. As soon as that game's over, we hit the road because we got to get to Monroe for football the next day.
Yep. It's a 2:30 kick next week when football is on the road at ULM to take on the Warhawks, and they're on a bye this week as well, so you can't do any live scouting or anything like that. What's set is set, and so we'll kick that thing at 2:30 next week. Major Applewhite will join us next week
He'll
to
be back to
preview that matchup, and it'll be a normal week the rest of the way. And then after tonight, we've only got 3 shows left. That's crazy.
Nuts, man. It's the season has flown by, and it's been a great place to be here at Walk-On. So hopefully we'll get another big crowd coming up next Wednesday.
Yep.
And we'll be, again, pretty football-oriented. And hopefully we'll be football-oriented, talking about a lot of wins in basketball and maybe a Sun Belt Conference championship in soccer. Who knows? A couple of big wins in volleyball as they get ready to finish their regular season. So a lot on tap, and we will recap it all for you.
Yep. So a lot going on campus, a lot going on next week. Hope you'll join us for all of it, either on the airwaves or in person. We'd love to have you wherever you may be. That's going to do it here for this week's edition of Jags Live. Again, head coach Richie Riley. Appreciate him coming down here. Head coach Jesse Ortiz. For Pat, I'm JT. We'll see you guys next time. Jay's up. Go Jags.